Hello everyone, Mr. Swinger One here. Got our seat frame cleaned up and we're getting ready to reassemble. I didn't wipe it down too meticulous. It's not in that bad a shape. This car was garage kept for like almost 30 years that I've owned it. So the car was like 23 years old when I bought it, and it sat in the garage. So like this isn't all rusty and nasty looking like you might find a car that's been sitting outside for 50 years. So I'm just going to go ahead and recover this with the factory paint on it. I might wipe it down a little more, but you could. Right now is where you would take your Rust-Oleum maybe, and you know, I guess you could take steel wool or Scotch-Brite, scuff all these by hand and then paint them if you wanted to do that. What I did is you go around, you get all the hog rings off of it. There was always some excess hog rings hanging on the frame. I think they used a lot of them with assembly, so there's no set number of hog rings. People just keep putting it on until they get everything tight. I did do a count though to try and use the same amount of hog rings along the way. And I did want to point out what I've learned is there's two different kind of hog rings. There's galvanized. You would use that for like diamond mesh fence, and stainless steel are the ones for upholstery work. I imagine you could use galvanized if you had nothing else. I happen to have both. If for some reason I run short and I have to, I'll stick some galvanized hog rings on. But just keep in mind the galvanized ones are for fence work. The stainless steel ones are for upholstery work. Alright, so moving on, we're going to take a look at what comes with the legendary interior kit for this 70 Dart. Alright, so I want to take a look at the box. I wanted to point something out. So when you get, I ordered both kits for front and rear seats. So this box has the burlap. There's the memory foam there, so the seat back, the part that you actually sit on is memory foam. The part you lean your back on is going to be the cotton upholstery. But make sure you open the right box. Use the right kit. That says hardtop convertible rear seats. What, AMC, GM, CDP. Chrysler Dodge Plymouth 6674, AMC 6874, GM 6472. So there's just enough. All the foam and burlap comes in this box, and then the actual vinyl is custom made, and that comes in a separate box. But just make sure you use the rear seat kit for the rear seats, because something would probably happen where if you use the rear seat kit for the front, you'd probably run short on some stuff, and then you'd be a little confused as to why. It's like I said, memory foam there. The cotton is in here. This is the burlap. I even throw in a nice little dust mask. I think that's a nice touch. This kit ran, for all of it was $1,200. So if you're just going to redo a front seat, you're probably looking at $600. But keep in mind, I got the discount. It's probably more like $750, because I recall the whole thing would have been $1,500. I saved $300 by getting it on sale. But keep in mind, like I said in the last video, I waited 6 months for everything. Well, these foam kits came first. I imagine they have these on shelves ready to go because they cover Chrysler, GM, and AMC. But the actual upholstery had to be handmade, and that took time because you basically, as I was saying, your order comes through in the order in which it's received. So if you're on a waiting list for them to hand make your upholstery, then you gotta wait until they get to it. But these foam boxes come in first because they're already on a shelf ready to go, if that makes sense. Alright, my batteries are dying on this camera. I'm going to take a break to recharge them, and we'll get back to it. Alright, we're back here at Mr. Swinger's Tijuana Upholstery Shop. So we got our burlap stretched over our springs. And the next thing, according to Legendary, is to roll out 3 layers of cotton. And then after that, cover it with this fabric, which is sort of like a canvas. There's a word for it, I forget what it is, but this will go over top of the 3 layers of cotton, and then we're ready for our vinyl seat cover. So far so good. That's our 3 layers of cotton over the burlap. And we get this material out and start hogging this over the cotton. So this is pretty much it. This is our burlap, 3 layers of cotton, and our muslin, our thin material stretched over. I'll show you the bottom side. It's kind of rough. I'm gonna have to get a razor knife and trim that. I think I'm gonna get the vinyl out and stretch that over it today and see what happens. I didn't really show. This wasn't a how-to because I'm not somebody that tells somebody how to do upholstery. I'm just doing it myself, seeing how it goes. But Legendary's good. They got instructions on YouTube how to do this. I'm following their guidance, and this is how it's turning out. It doesn't feel bad at all. So it's nice and clean. Like I said, I'm gonna get the vinyl over it and stretch that, hogging that, and then maybe I'll get a razor blade out and trim off the back. Try and make it look more professional. But I think this is like, so right there, it's a little rough. I might straighten that out somehow. Over along that side. Anything that's crooked now will be crooked with the vinyl on, basically. So far so good. Alright, as you can see, this is the Legendary seat cover. It's stretched over nice. There's some wrinkles in it, but it'll be fine. It's not hog ringed yet, so I can stretch it, let it sit. Later on, if I have to, I can apply some heat or steam, but the wrinkles will come out of it because it's vinyl. But as you can see, it's a very nice reproduction kit. I'm going to get some hog rings in this, stretch it over, and then our seat back will be ready to go in the car. Another shot of this. It's pretty much hog ringed on. I'm going to finish up the backside, trim off the excess material. But as you can see, this Legendary kit's pretty good stuff. Because if I can do it, anybody can do it. But yeah, look at that. And then we'll look at the underside. You can see it's a little rough. I'm going to finish hog ringing it. I'm going to get a razor blade, trim the excess material off, make it look a little more professional. But it's pretty much it. All new upholstery for the Dart. I want to say I might have spent 4 or 5 hours on this, but not all at once. Probably more like 4. But I'm a little slow with the hog ring pliers, so I have my issues. I got a Chinese set of hog ring pliers that I don't really like. If I had a good set of hog ring pliers, maybe that would do the trick. But I'm also not a pro. The pros are really fast with the hog ring pliers. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. Good stuff. There are upholstery kits for these cars. They are inexpensive, but they're not factory correct. If you're okay putting your seat covers on your car that weren't original Mopar style, like maybe a different green pattern or whatever, there is affordable alternatives out there. I wanted to have my interior looking the way it did from Dodge in 1970, so I went with the Legendary kits. Like I said, it feels nice. It's supple, soft. I'm in my basement right now. It's probably 50 degrees. So I'm not going to install this in the car right away. Maybe March, April, when it starts getting a little warmer. And I'm assuming the heat from the summer is going to shrink this up. I'm probably going to put this in one of my spare bedrooms where it's a little warmer and let it sit. There's the original seat bottom. It's a little dusty next to the redone top. So you can see how close they are. I think it's going to be fine.